For the NewNixon.org, this is Jonathan Mavroidis. I am with Governor Mike Huckabee, author of the bestseller "Do the Right Thing" and television show host on Fox News of Huckabee. Governor Huckabee, on your blog, you said that Republican Chairman Michael Steele's remarks about individual choice in abortion is, quote, a reversal of Republican Party policy and principle and a violation of the most basic human rights, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Is it your opinion that Steele should step down?
No, I don't think he should step down. I think it would be a big mistake. I love Michael Steele. He's a personal friend and has been for many, many years. I think he made a serious mistake when he attempted to use the language of the left to communicate what he thought was the language of the pro-life cause, but it certainly did not come across that way. Subsequent to the uproar, he and I had a good personal conversation on the phone. I'd called, I wanted to talk to him. I've known him too long, and I just thought, that just doesn't sound right. What he indicated to me was that it was his intent to say that his mother, an unmarried college student, had made a choice, and that choice was an individual one, and that was to have him and not to abort him. But obviously it didn't come across very well. It was very awkward on his part, I think, in the way of communicating. But does that mean he shouldn't be the chairman? Of course not. Michael Steele has a great deal to offer us as a party chairman. He's articulate. We've all said things that didn't come out quite right. I'm the chief offender of all. I've probably had more moments where I wish I hadn't said something quite like I did. So I'm very sympathetic with that. I think it's a good time, though, to say, Michael, this is an issue that is very important to Republicans, and we have to be right about it every day.
Now, Chairman Steele is obviously very articulate and very charismatic, but what is the job of the party chairman? Critics have been saying that Michael Steele has been overexposing himself to the media and has become gaffe-prone as a result. What do you think he's trying to accomplish with his media approach, and what do you think he should do differently?
Well, I'm not going to second guess his every move. The two things I think a good chairman does is, first of all, raise money for the party and make sure that it gets out to the candidates themselves and doesn't stay at the party. The second thing is that the party chairman needs to articulate the message of the Republican Party. He needs to be the loyal opposition if we have a Democratic president, which we do, and an encourager to those who are out there in the field running as Republicans and being a part of the local committees everywhere. One thing I hope will happen is that we will change the idea that the purpose of the local parties is to feed things upward, and we begin to see that the purpose of the national party is to feed things downward, out to the states and to the county committees. I'm still convinced that the strength of the Republican Party is at that local precinct level, and I hope that that's our direction.
But by trying to, Michael Steele has kind of caught himself in the middle, and many others, David Frum, Michael Steele, they have been trying to broaden the party beyond the traditional Reagan coalition. As a result, they've sort of, been on a collision course with this more traditional conservative orthodoxy. Reagan did win among young voters and many GOP-affiliated voters that now have switched to the Democratic Party, and the GOP continues to fail with minorities. The trends on issues like healthcare and the environment also don't look that promising either. How does the Republican Party fix this?
Well, I'm a big believer in the view that Republicans would make a huge mistake by trying to move to the left and be accommodating to views that are not conservative. Conservatism isn't dead. It's the practice of it that has the problem. The principles are sound. There's a concept that I articulate in my book, and it's that which I call vertical politics. And essentially, the nutshell of it is this, that too many people in the practice of politics, those of us who run and get very involved, we see everything horizontally, left, right, liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican. And there are going to be some people that no matter what, they're going to vote to the right, they're going to vote to the left, they're going to vote horizontally. But the swing voters, the ones that actually will determine the outcome of an election, are not thinking horizontally. Their political direction is shaped by what I call vertical politics. What they want to know is, are you going to lift us up or are you going to take us down? Will the schools be better or worse? Will the roads be better or worse? Will the economy and the job creation get better or get worse? And the reason that people voted for Barack Obama is because he sold himself as a vertically upward leader. somebody who would take us up. And people bought it. I think they're going to be very disappointed in what they took home when they purchased Barack Obama as president. But that's why they voted for him. If they had known how far to the left he really would lead, I'm not sure that Barack Obama would be the president right now.
Mr. David Frum made similar points in his article in Newsweek this week that the GOP needs to, show leadership and being more solutions-based rather than being more ideological. He said that the government is implicated in many of today's top domestic concerns, but the connection between big government and today's most pressing problems is not as close or as pressing as it was 27 years ago. So unsurprisingly, the anti-big government message does not mobilize the public the way it once did. Is the philosophy of conservatism forever immutable, or does the philosophy have to adapt to rather than change modern attitudes about government's role in America, more specifically, people's pressing economic needs?
Well, the basic principles are still valid. Smaller government, limited taxes, government that is as close to the people being governed as possible, mothers and fathers raising kids, not governments. Those are the bedrock principles, along with things like a strong national defense and secure borders and a free market environment where the entrepreneur, the innovator, the creator can take his idea and make it work and create a business from it. Those are still, I think, the ideal principles of the Republican Party. The issue is that we need to show that implementing those will actually work and will make people's lives better, that their families will be empowered, their kids are more likely to go to college, finish, and get a good job, that they'll be able to work, keep more of what they've earned, and do what they want to with it rather than have someone else spend it for them. So what we have to do is to communicate that it's not just what we believe, but it's how our beliefs will make their lives better. Now, if we don't do that, then we're not going to win elections, and frankly, we shouldn't.
What is the government's role in helping issues like this?
Primary role is to be the referee, not a player on the field. The government ought to wear striped shirts and make sure that the game's being played fairly, but they shouldn't put a jersey on and pick one side over the other. The reason that I have just been almost crazy about these bailouts and where the government's starting to pick winners and losers in the marketplace is because at that point, the government is no longer acting its role as the referee throwing flags at the penalties. It's chosen a side and it's now running plays with one of the teams. And that's not the function of a government. It should not be picking the winners and losers in the marketplace. That's not its role and function. And when it attempts to do it, it's going to create an incredible imbalance, a basic sense of injustice, and we're beginning to see the disastrous consequences of having the government become a manipulator.
Barack Obama had said that he didn't think about running for president until he got slews of people for his book signing. Book signings in New York City and Los Angeles. You have a hit TV show that draws millions per week, and today you're going to speak in front of a crowd of and sign books for nearly 1,000 people. Is this a formula for a presidential victory in 2012?
I hope it's just, at least right now, a formula for increased viewers to Fox and listeners on ABC radio network. I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea whether I'll ever run again. And I just don't know. I tell people the honest answer is I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not setting up a committee either. Because it may be that my role and the way I can most help to shape the debate and be a part of the process is to be a voice through radio and television and through writing. And so I'm content if that's what my lot is. There may be somebody else that emerges that is the better candidate. So it's not like I'm sitting around every day saying, I tell you what, I've already decided I'm going to run. It's just now a matter of laying out the tracks. I very well may not. One thing I can tell you, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think I absolutely could take it to the finish line. And I'm truthfully having a great time doing what I'm doing, that the thought of jumping back into the totally all-consuming and all-invasive campaign is not very appealing at this very moment.
Thank you, Governor Huckabee, for your time.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.